Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amal's Academy. Today in this tutorial we are discussing about how to print stars in alphabetical N shape, and this code is also similar to the previous pattern programs. So let's begin with the code. Okay, here is the output and here we can see stars in different row and column. So to print stars in different row and column we are using two for loop. That is, one for loop is to print stars in rows and another for loop is to print stars in columns. And here in the output we can see 6 row and 6 columns. So at the beginning of our code we can see for loop. This for loop is to print stars in the rows, and here row is the variable name and we are using range function here. As I said, there are 6 rows are there in the output, so I'll mention 6 here. So range is from 0 to 6, and inside that for loop body we are using another for loop. It is to print stars in the column, and here call is the variable name, and in the output 6 columns are there, so I'll mention 6 here. Okay, range is from 0 to 6, and inside that for loop body we are using if else conditional statement. That is, we want to print stars in some particular pattern, that is alphabetical N shape. For that we need condition. That's why we are using if else conditional statement. After if keyword we need to mention the condition, that is in which row and column you want to print star. So for that we need to observe the output, and first we'll check for the column. That is, in the column 0 and column 5 we can see the stars in each row. Right, so our first condition will be, I'll check whether column is equal to 0 or column is equal to 5. Okay, these are my two conditions. That is, I'm checking whether column is equal to 0 or 5. Here this is the logical OR operator, and in the logical OR operator if any one of the input is true then output will be true. So if any one of this condition is true it will print star. Okay, so next we are done with the column now, so we need to concentrate on the rows or these 4 stars. So for that I'll write condition like this. I'll mention logical OR, and here I'll check whether row is equal to column. If it is true, then at that time column should be greater than 0 and column should be less than 5. This is my third condition, and here we can see we want to print these 4 stars, and here we can see this star is in the place of row 1 and column 1, and this is in row 2 column 2, this is row 3 column 3, this is row 4 column 4. That is, we want to print star when row is equal to column. Okay, and we want to print these 4 stars. That's why I mentioned there column should be greater than 0 and less than 5. So here in the third condition we are checking whether row is equal to column. If it is true, then column should be greater than 0 and less than 5. And here we can see the logical AND operator, and in the case of logical AND operator, if both the inputs are true then only output is true. That is, if both this condition become true then only it will print star. After that we can see colon, and inside that if body we can see print star end empty string. That is, if this condition becomes true then it will print star, and here we can see end is equal to empty string. That is, in the print by default end value will be /n, but in our output we don't want any space or new line between the 2 stars in a row, so that's why we are using end is equal to empty string. Next, if this condition becomes false, then control goes to the else part and it will print space. That is, we can see here space, right? This is because of else part execution. And next, inside the first for loop we are using print. It's because this is used for the new line. That is, After printing stars in one row, we want to go to the next line to print another star. That's why we are using this print. Okay, now we are done with our code, so we need to save this and run this. And here we can see the output. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll meet you in next class. Till then, take care.